Okay, I'm going to do this real quick. This will be the last video I make for today. This will be part 3 of this because tomorrow I absolutely have to get to 9/11. I have to show you how September 11th was pointing to this month also. How the events from that day, that terrible day in 2001 were pointing to July of 2020. And it connects to everything I'm showing you here. You got to see this. You got to see it. I'm gonna get to it tomorrow. I wanted to make these videos today and tomorrow because between Saturday and next Wednesday, I won't be able to make any videos. I'll be busy doing something, so I won't be able to make any videos again until at least late next week, like Thursday or Friday. So I wanted to hurry up and get these videos done. So this is part 3 of this, and then like I said, tomorrow I will get to the 9/11 connection and show you how it was pointing to July of 2020 all along. We were being shown that in that horrible, horrific event that happened back in 2001, it was pointing us to July of 2020. I'm going to get to that. But you can check out a pastor named Steve Cioccolanti from, I think he's from Australia, and I saw this maybe a couple years ago. He did a teaching. I'm not even going to try to repeat it and explain what he explained because it was difficult to understand, but I did get it. How he showed that even Noah, there's a connection with his name, the number of his name being 58, and Donald Trump also, because Trump's inauguration was the 58th inauguration. Of course, he's the 45th president, but his inauguration was the 58th inauguration. So even his name connected to Noah. Okay, and 2017 was the 6,000th year, which corresponds to the 600th year of Noah's life when the flood began. And here we are connecting Trump with us, the bride of Christ. We are Elijah, and the rain that came down when Trump stepped to the podium. And of course, what was it that started the great flood in Genesis chapter 7 and 8? It was rain. Rain was the first sign, because that was the first time it had ever rained in history. That was a sign that the flood of destruction was beginning. That's when people realized that they were in trouble. And the ark door closed to protect Noah and the 7 people with him in the ark, which represents Jesus and the 7 churches being safe in the ark when the rain starts. Okay, now that is in Genesis chapter 7 and 8. Now, if I say to you, how long was the great flood? Most people would answer 1 year, which the story of the great flood in Genesis chapter 7 and 8, the story was 1 year. It was a 1 year period. But the actual floodwaters only actually destroyed the earth and prevailed on the earth for 5 months. I'm reading right now from Genesis chapter 7, the final verse, verse 24. And it says, and the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. Skip ahead to Genesis chapter 8, verse 3. And the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of 150 days, the waters were abated. From the 2nd month, 17th day, to the 7th month, 17th day, it was exactly 150 days. It was 5 months. The rapture, as I said to you guys, being that Trump's time would end in July, this month, July 2020, that is exactly 3 years and 6 months after January of 2017. Signifying that the rain, God was showing that the rain was only connected as to the man. That, in other words, this man was our connection to the rain to let us know when the rain of God's judgment would come down. When his time ends, the rain will come down. 3 years and 6 months is all you would have. And then the rain would return. That's what God was saying. He was connecting the rain with the man, Donald Trump, as a sign. He is a trumpet, 3 years and 6 months, and then the rain returns. Just like at the end of 3 years and 6 months, Elijah prayed and the rain came back. Okay? So in the time of Elijah, you had the rain of blessing being withheld from the people for their wickedness. And then he prayed and the rain came back to bless the land once again, when the people finally recognized who the true God was. But what we have here is kind of in reverse. We have the rain of God's blessing being given to us. That's why it started to rain when Trump came to the podium. God was saying, I'm giving you rain for 3 years and 6 months. And then at the end of that is when the people will pray, God's people will pray for the judgment to come down. That is when the judgment will come down. Because I believe that what is going to happen this month, and I'm going to show you this, how it's connected to what happened on September 11th, is that Obama's return is now. And we're going to see it happen, and God's people are going to see the return of Bao, and we're going to pray to get out of here immediately because we realize we are in danger. Remember, the dragon stood before the woman to devour her child as soon as it was born. On the Jewish calendar, that sign appears in the heavens in Virgo in the 7th month. On our calendar, this is the 7th month. And we are currently in the time of Gemini, where the sun is in Gemini, which represents the twins. As you move into Cancer, the symbol for Cancer, whereas it also is the crab sometimes, but you also see the symbol of the number 69, okay, representing the third temple. Remember, the first temple took 23 years to build. The second temple took 46 years, and we'll get to that connection with 9/11 tomorrow in the videos I'm going to make tomorrow. So if there were to be a third temple, which there is, which is not a building, it's the human body, naturally, do the math, it would take 23 more years, which would make 69 years. All right. So from July, where we are now, to December and Hanukkah, the second coming of Christ, the Great Tribulation would be 5 months, just like there was 5 months of rain in Noah's time. You understand? So you see the connection to the flood. All right. So I'm going to end this video here. Because I know I've hit you guys with a lot, but you have to see, we'll continue more of this and get into more of this as I explain 9/11 tomorrow. You got to stay tuned for the videos I'm going to post tomorrow, but I just wanted to get this out here for you guys today.